Welcome everyone to Hobby Homies. I'm glad you
Today,
can tune in with us tonight.
today
And
there
I
is
hope,
the Fox and Shane, and also me. My name is
and also
Churchy.
Churchy. This is
Don't
Churchy.
don't forget, guys. There's the Hobby Lobby on the
Yeah.
Hobby Homies Discord, and it's pretty cool. I like to hang out there sometimes with my friends Fox and Shane.
We have some other friends that hang out there too. We called it the Hobby Lobby because it's a lobby and it rhymes
Or
with hobby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's true too, I guess. So swing by and have a good time.
Why is this happening?
Oh, I didn't
Please.
realize you were here, Shane. This is just what me and Churchy do for the other 23 hours of a day.
Okay.
Whilst we wait for you to rock up so we can do a podcast.
I thought you guys were going to start talking about rusty spoons for a second then.
I don't know what you're implying. I don't know what you're implying.
Okay.
I'm not into salads or anything.
You mean your fingers are not made of salad?
What? Anyway.
Welcome to Hobby Homies.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Shane, and I am not with Fox and the sound guy, Jack.
He's preemptively laughing about how he's not going to say his name when you ask him who he is.
Again, this is another one of our Discord sessions, which will be the norm for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
So we are your war game and board game podcast, like covering things the like of Warhammer 40,000, Dungeons and Dragons, regular board games, and other tabletop games like Star Wars Legion. And this week we're talking Kill Team.
Yes, which is none of the things that you mentioned, except for that it is. It is, I guess, also a smaller version of Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, it's like a little branch off the Warhammer 40,000 tree.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
A small, delicious branch. I don't know how many people eat branches, but if you did, this would be a particularly delicious one.
Yes. Or maybe this branch just has some delicious fruit.
I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Than eating branches. Yep.
So, what have you been doing with yourself for the last week?
Oh, well, great question. I mean, it's been back to work. It's business as usual for me this week.
Yeah.
So it's been absolutely busy. I haven't really touched much hobby at all. However, mere moments before recording this, I went to one of my local hobby stores and bought a couple of paints.
Oh, nice. What paints did you buy?
Well, we've got a couple of Patreons, and one of the rewards for them is that we paint them a model and send it out.
Yep.
Two of them wanted our Hobby Homies colors incorporated some way on these Space Marines. However, we use a fluoro green as one of our primary colors, which is, I thought, that would be a very difficult color to make, but Vallejo has some fluoro colors. So,
is that in their game color range?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So I picked up a fluoro green, and I picked up a white, a crisp white, which isn't fluoro, but it's crisp. So
fluoro white.
So I got those, and hopefully I'll be able to start getting into those soon. Whip out the airbrush and start putting some Hobby Homie paints on some miniatures.
I mean, we guaranteed these patrons 30 days. So yeah, how many days has it been?
I don't know.
At least 7.
At least. I mean, I better get cracking. I got the paints, so that's the first step.
Yeah, and I got to get stuck into those bases.
Yeah. So that's really all I've done. Just been working, grab those paints preemptively. I think it will quieten down next week, which is when I'll start slamming out those models. So
yeah, nice.
If you're a newer listener, I don't want to give you the idea that we're good painters. We're not, but we're quite trash. But this will be a fun project regardless.
Yeah, and it's, we're going to get better from more painting.
Totally.
So
Look-
we less trash next time.
Yeah. And I'm excited. Like, when you paint one mini for someone, you can put as much effort and go as hard as you like because you don't have to worry about, like, if it takes you 6 hours, it's not like you have to go, oh crap, I have to do that another 9 times just to finish this unit,
Yeah.
So-
They're right.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, sweet.
But what about you? What have you been doing?
Worked the first couple of days this week, just because of shift. So didn't have much time for hobby. By the time I got home, I was just wrecked.
Yeah.
But I managed to find very rare and exclusive in the wild a
Oof.
Necron Overlord. So
In the wild.
in the wild, yeah.
Yeah.
So I snapped him up, and today is sort of my first day off. So I have been building and assembling him. Probably even try and get stuck into starting the paint on him tomorrow. But besides from that, just trying to get through more Necrons for our 1K, 40K. I've made my list. I want to fill it out with models so we can stop proxying in those demo games.
Dorito chips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I made an interesting list today. I was kind of just playing around, and I thought, what can I make for 1K with models that I have?
Yeah.
And I started a bit of a Kroot list.
Oh, you always
And-
fall back to those Kroot, man.
Oh, mate. I've got a Kroot model that sits on my paint desk every day. And he's just there to remind me what I would be doing if Kroot had a Kroot only army that they could run.
Yeah. They haven't got a HQ, do they?
That's the big problem. They don't have a HQ. I mean,
Could you
they
know?
do use Tau.
Yeah. But you know that Krook, fucking hell.
Well,
Kroot.
how dare you?
I know. I'm sorry. That Kroot Explorer that came in the Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you could make house rules for him for a HQ?
Oh, yeah. I could house rule the whole army if I wanted, but I want to play some 40K games,
True.
Some juiciness.
Yeah.
So this list has Tau HQs and some Tau heavy support. In fact, because Kroot models are so cheap, I can make a battalion, which is the big army, for like 900 points.
Do you mean a brigade?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Battalion.
No, that's a small boy. That's a medium boy, actually. Yeah, I can make a brigade for 900 points. So that's kind of cool.
Wow. I managed to just squeeze in a brigade in 1,500 points of Necrons. But it was like cutting it.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to like remove the arms from the models.
Yeah, exactly. Just so they
Counts as
fit.
terrain. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Not heaps. So
Yeah.
Just work.
Yeah,
All the fun stuff.
that's it. Yeah. Well, let's get stuck into Kill Team. So
I'm excited.
I know you've been heavily researching this episode, and I'm going to hold you to that.
Oh. Oh dear.
So I am actually really looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. I suppose we'll have to assume that the listeners have some understanding of tabletop war games, although we probably will explain it from a beginner's level.
Yeah.
As a
but,
beginner,
you've
I'm also
got-
excited for this.
As a what? As a what
As
did
a
you say?
beginner.
Jay?
As a
Oh,
beginner, I am also very
as a
excited for this,
beginner.
especially since I feel my interest for Kill Team growing.
Yeah. Kill Team is definitely aimed at those who aren't like fully invested on building or buying, building, and painting a massive army.
Mm.
It's perfect for the smaller scale. You buy one box of dudes and you've got a Kill Team.
Yeah. Which is just awesome. Like compared to, like you mentioned, buying a full scale 40K army.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been so nice. We have monthly giveaways, bit of a plug there, shameless plug. We have monthly giveaways on Hobby Homies, and the first 2 months were like just perfect for Kill Teams. So it didn't matter if we were giving away 40K stuff to people that had never played because they've got a box of dudes they can use in a game now.
Yeah.
Because of Kill Team.
Yep.
So that's sick.
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one, man. So,
Excellent.
kick off with what you've got.
So I'm thinking I will do exactly what you said and just sort of assume people know either very little about Kill Team, but maybe a little bit about tabletop war games. This will be a little beginner's rundown of what is Kill Team.
Yeah, so you'll understand, using a tape measure, throwing the dice, but that's about it.
Totally. So, Shane, people may ask me, what is Kill Team?
What is Kill Team?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, it's a skirmish war game set in the 40K universe. So, it uses the 40K models, and the stories for it are set in the 40K universe, which we actually did an episode on.
Yeah, we did. Welcome to Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, exactly. So you can learn more about the 40K universe, but it's a sci-fi universe set 40,000 years in the future. It's an absolute war-torn galaxy with massive armies in the billions. But this Kill Team focuses on the smaller battles, so like the covert operations, the ambushes, the
assassinations,
all that stuff. Exactly. It's a 2 to 4 player game, but it's quite clearly developed for 2 players.
Yeah.
That's where it's the most competitive and the most balanced, but the ability to play up to 4 is awesome.
Yeah, but we all know 2 players is the money shot.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's the money shot.
Yeah, it's the money shot right there.
But it's great because like you and me as experienced Kill Team players can grab Churchy and another bloke and have a fun 4-player game where, we don't really care who wins. We're introing new people to the game.
Absolutely.
Teaching rules. And it's a more of a beer of pretzels way of playing because it's much more laid back when that competitive element is removed. So So how the game works is you build yourself a roster of up to 20 models. These models are from the 40K product line, but it's only a select range. So say 40K has 2,000 models. Only about 200 of those would be Kill Team eligible.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't throw a tank on the table and say that that's your Kill Team.
Totally. No, it doesn't make sense. It wouldn't be fun. It's hard to balance. It focuses mostly on like the foot soldiers.
Yeah.
Your standard troops.
Yeah.
And arranging them in sort of like a smaller special ops force kind of thing.
The beauty of that with that is you can also open up the customization. So instead of building like 10 Space Marines to look the same like a unit, you could custom them so hard. Like, you can give your sniper a sniper rifle, a cloak, you can paint them, you can model them to be like crouching or something. And then you got your medic, you could paint him with like a little red cross on him with a satchel or something like that. So, that's one really good thing that I love about Kill Team.
Yeah, that part of it's sick, because in a regular game of 40K, you can't really customize. Typically, a squad of like 10 guys, they kind of have to have all the same war gear except for maybe 1 or 2 of them that can take like special weapons.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, like each individual troop is its own unit. One model is one unit. It can take its own war gear. You can give them names, demeanors. You can make them specialists. So they have a special, it's almost like a class.
Yeah.
It could be a medic or demolitions or combat, for example. And in campaigns, you can even level them up.
Yeah.
You actually fill out these cool little cards that sort of, it has its name and all those things I just mentioned, as well as like it keeps track of injuries and war gear and experience.
Yeah.
Which if you're doing a campaign goes across multiple games, which is probably the coolest thing in my mind about Kill Team is the ability to play a game and then have it impact the next one you play in a series of them.
Oh, yeah. The narrative behind it as well is insane. Like the little stories that you can have your campaign may only be 3 little different separate games.
Yeah.
But you can go from one mission, which is like an assassination or like kidnap the enemy leader. The next mission can be like rescue that guy back. And so it's really cool.
And you sort of like build little stories for you guys, you know, like there's been a few times where we played and say one guy in one fight was particularly good at surviving. Like maybe he took like 20 shots it took to kill him because, you know, the person shooting just got really unlucky or whatever. And that became that guy's little story. So for the next 3 games, he's always that guy. It's like, oh, Shane, do you really want to shoot at him? I mean, you know what happened last game?
Yeah. I've heard of people modeling like little medals and stuff onto their models, like because they've just achieved some like ridiculous feat in the last mission. They'll model a little badge or something and put it on that particular guy. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sick. So the way you build your roster is kind of very 40K influenced. Each of your models has certain points assigned to them, and the weapons that they can take also have points. So typically you try to make an army out of 100 points, which there are some models that are worth 4 points each. So you could only take, say, 20 of those for 80 points.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have filled your full 100. Or there's some that are like 20 or 30 points each. So, you know, 4 or 5 of them would make 100.
Yeah.
You know, and usually you mix and match. You don't typically take 20 of the 4-point guys. You'll take 10 of them, another 2 10-point guys, and then maybe 2 30-point things or whatever. That's terrible maths. That was way over 100. But, you know, you can customize your army and your little roster in that way. So the way
like playing with Fox.
Pardon? What's that?
I said this is exactly what it's like playing a game with you. Terrible maths.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's not. It's my maths is okay. It's just inaccurate. So the way you play the game is in the core book. There's missions. Actually, in all the books relative to the Kill Team game, there's missions. Narrative missions, which sort of follow like more of a story-driven idea. And then there's like matched play missions, which focus more on being competitive and balanced.
Yeah.
There's also open play missions, which I don't know much about, because I feel like narrative and matched do such a good job of doing what they do. If you want to play a competitive chess-style game, play matched. If you don't really care about that, you can play narrative and do a cool story-driven thing. The missions are important because they'll tell you like how you set up the battlefield. So like where the terrain goes and where you deploy your troops. It'll also tell you how many points. I can't remember if I said that. And like the objectives of the game and like how you win. So for example, the one mission is called Ambush. And the goal of it is one person's the attacker, one person's the defender. And so the defender wins if they escape, basically. Oh, hello, doggo. What do you want? It's he's striked again. And yeah, he's actually going psycho. I've never seen this. I've never seen such a feat. If I could explain it, it would. I mean, I can't. It's like if you threw like a drop of blood into a hungry tank of piranhas.
Oh wow!
But there's no food. It's just running in circles. So I don't know what's wrong with that zoomies. It's got the big zoomies, the savage zoomies. So I think my dog's broken. If you're a dog repair person, give us a call. Message us on our Facebook page. So yeah, the missions tell you everything you need to know. For example, Ambush, the attacker sort of comes in from one edge of the board and tries to obviously destroy all your defending units. And you need to try and like get past them and escape off the same board edge they came on. Yeah. So that's one example of what a mission may be. There might be another one where there's points on the map, objectives. And if you control those for a certain amount of turns, you get a certain amount of points, and the person with the most points at the end wins. And it uses what I would say is very similar to Warhammer 40k 8th edition rules, which would be too complicated to go into in an episode.
Oh yeah.
But I'll give you a basic rundown of like what it would cost for you to get into it. Unfortunately, that varies significantly because this is not a board game in the sense that you can't go out, spend $100, everything's there for you, and you just pull it out of the box and play a game.
No.
It's sort of the step between a board game and full-scale 40k. So
that's why we think it's such a really good entry game into the Warhammer, or even into any sort of tabletop gaming or wargaming scene. Like it's
totally
it's that one step between.
Yeah, it's a good gateway drug to the plastic crack.
Oh yeah.
So like you can get the starter set, which does have everything you need. It's got the rules, it's got a couple armies, and it's got some terrain. It's got the board as well. I think it's even got like dice and everything else.
Yeah.
So that's good, but that's $265. So it's decent pricey, and you still need to, you probably need to still buy clippers and glue and glue the models together.
Everything does require assembly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My dog agrees.
Yeah. It would be a good thing to go Harveys with someone. Because I'm pretty sure you do get 2 different armies in there. So you might like one and your friend might like the other, or they might just be happy to take the other. And if you're going to split the cost that way, it's a lot more friendlier.
Yeah, that's true. It's got Space Marines and Tau. So 2 of the most liked armies. So it would be easy to find someone to split with.
Most liked?
Yeah. 2 sides of a very different coin.
Yeah.
So that's $265. So I mean, let's be honest. By the time you get glue and everything and paints to paint it, you're probably looking at $300 to do it that way.
Yeah.
However, you can just go out and buy, like we mentioned before, just a box of dudes or dudettes. You could definitely play as the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, yeah.
And a box of like 1 unit might be anywhere between $50 to $100. Then you go and buy a rule book, and then again clippers and paints. So, I mean, it can cost you anywhere between, depending on how involved you are with war games already, anywhere between $50 and $300.
Yeah. So, I mean, you might even have a friend that has the rule book. So
totally.
That's easy. Or again, you might go Harveys and split it with a friend. So, because I think the rule book on it alone is about $70, but it is thick. Like it's a thick boy.
It is a thick boy.
Got heaps of stuff in there. Even as far as like rules for, I'm pretty sure it's got all the armies in there. It's got little things which like help you name the models like to their faction. They've got like very Space Marine sounding names and very Tower sounding names, and all the fluff as well is in there, which is, a lot of people are interested in that. They want to know the lore and rules and all that sort of stuff behind the game they're playing.
Yeah, and it's so one downside, I suppose, to, and this is across all Games Workshop games, unfortunately, is like if you wanted to go to a kill team tournament that, say, Games Workshop was running, and if not an official one, but one, like a little weekend thing that they've got, you would have to buy the core rules.
Yeah.
And the kill team annual update.
Oh, yeah.
And if you had any elites in your army, you would also need the elite rule book. And also, if you had commanders, you'd need the commanders rule book.
So elites and commanders are both expansions to the game.
Correct. Yeah. And so it can get quite pricey if you're doing it that way, but typically it doesn't look like that. So for me and Shane, for example, we played 40k. So we basically pick one, a little squad of 10 units, 10 models out of our bigger armies.
Yeah.
And we'll just like, actually, Games Workshop, their Warhammer community page has a free kill team roster creator thing.
Yeah.
Or you can, download Battle Scribe if people are familiar with that and sort of calculate your points that way. You've got the rule book, the core rules.
Yeah.
And so we know how to play the game, and then we get the points costs through those other 2 portals. So you don't actually have to
Yeah, there's another great app called Kill Team Manager, which I'm pretty sure is another free app that's a lot like Battlescribe, but purely for kill teams. So you make your lists in there, you generate your models, you arm them as they are, and yeah, it's fantastic. Actually, it's really good. I'd say it's probably even easier than Battlescribe.
It's truth, Magooth.
Oh yeah, big.
So, that kind of gives you an idea of what the game is, how you do your missions and stuff. I've actually made a Kill Team channel in our Discord, and in there I've dropped a bunch of content for people that are looking to get into it or are curious about it. So in there I've posted a how to play Kill Team video, easy Kill Team lists for under $50. Now that's 50 USD, which with my current maths tells me it's about $150. That may not be accurate, actually.
Close.
Yeah, there's a video of, they're all by the same guy that we've talked about before, Uncle Atom.
Yeah, from Tabletop Minions.
Yeah. He's got a video where he unboxes that Kill Team starter set, so you can see everything that's in there. And a little video on the 2 expansions, Elites and Struth Commanders.
Nice.
And that is all. I will have to take a quick break because my dog's going psycho because my wife just got home.
Okay.
So let's take 5 while I try and sort this thing out. I feel like that news reporter. I don't know if you guys have seen that video where this guy's trying to do the news remotely from Vietnam or something, and then his kid on a bouncer rolls in. I'm gonna link that in one of the channels as well.
Sounds amazing.
I've seen that one.
I'm not a news reporter by any means, but this doggo is basically that kid in a bouncer.
Yeah.
So BRB.
All right.
It's the Hubby Hummies, Fox and Shine.
Thank you. Thank you.
That should be our new intro.
I deserve so much more than this. So, yeah. I mean, that's Kill Team in a nutshell. It's like a quarter of the cost of full scale 40K. It's, I don't know, like a tenth of the time.
Yeah.
It's great because you can really work on each individual person and give them a personality and a character. Yeah, there's so many reasons I think that we love it and play it more than actual 40K.
Yeah, definitely. It's our go-to game, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We used to always just play 40K, but you have to dedicate at least half the day to it. By the time you get there, you set up and you start playing, and then you pack up again.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
That being said as well, we always used to play pretty big games, at least 1,500, if not more.
Yeah, exactly. It was go hard or go home for us. It was either play a 1,500 or 2,000 point game, or play a board game.
Just don't bother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, Kill Team it's so good for that smaller scale. Way quicker. And the table size too. You don't need a full on 6x4 gaming table. You can use a coffee table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could list all the reasons, all the pros of it. I mean, even just the way that you can for the rules, you alternate actions.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But maybe I'll throw it to you, Shane, and you can tell me, what do you like about Kill Team? What do you prefer over regular 40K?
Before we do that, which I am absolutely excited to tell you what I prefer over 40K. I'm going to ask you, what don't you like about it?
Oh, great question. What don't I like about it?
Yeah, if you could change something or you remove something entirely, what would it be?
Man, I mean, it has so much going for it. If I could change, I think maybe I'd like more support for it, I guess.
More support from Games Workshop.
Yeah, and mind you, they obviously do support it. You know, they've brought out 2 expansions and an annual update.
Yeah.
First of all, like all Games Workshop things, I wish you just paid once for the rules. You know,
And you got all the updates.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't like that aspect of it, but that's across all their stuff. So
that's expected from Games Workshop, though.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I guess I would like possibly even more customization.
Okay.
The thing is, it does everything really well, way better than some other systems.
Yeah.
But I really like, because it's such small scale, I would probably like more complex rules. Yep. Although it does have a lot of complex rules, it doesn't, have weapons malfunctioning and things like it used to.
No. Remember when we used to play, before Kill Team came out in 7th edition, they had this thing called Shadow War Armageddon.
Yes.
Which I think that was also Churchy's first steps into Warhammer as well. I'm pretty sure you played that with us once or twice.
Yeah. Yep, I
did. Yeah. And that had weapons malfunctioning, running out of ammo, falling from heights.
Because I remember when I played, I was like, oh, yeah, I'll put the plasma weapons on my guys. They do lots of damage. And then you're like, yeah, they can malfunction. And I was like, oh, yeah, but, they'll be right. And then I think I
don't think they were right.
Yeah, they weren't. I think one or two of my guys just blew themselves up and no damage to anyone but themselves. But it was fun.
That even still happens now in Kill Team.
Yeah, that's true.
You roll a 1 on plasma, it's going to blow up.
That rule has followed you across systems, Churchy.
I remember I invested in these scout snipers, right? And I put them in this awesome position, and I rolled on the ammo check or weapons check, and his sniper rifle malfunctioned. And I'm like,
oh no,
are you fucking serious? All he's got is a bolt pistol now.
No. The poor guy was just trying to load his rounds into his sniper, his bolt action sniper, and he got a bit scared, a bit shaky.
Yeah, just pulled the bolts out of the rifle.
However, I also like that it doesn't have super complex rules, because then it would be more difficult, just a bigger barrier to introduce new players to it.
Yeah.
So off the top of my head, when I look at Kill Team, I think it's a pretty complete game. Yeah. Even as a board game on Board Game Geek, it's got an 8 out of 10. So, it's got some weight as a standalone game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, perhaps, if I could pick, I'd want maybe like cool little Kill Team packs. You know how you can get, say, Space Wolves upgrade sprues?
Yeah, yep.
It would be cool to get like little Kill Team upgrade packs, so you could sort of customize your troops even more.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
However, I've seen some people do conversions, and they're basically, they do that. But for a newer player who doesn't have all the bits that they've got from their previous 6 40k armies, you can't do a heap of customization on some of the kits that are available.
No, you can't, and you haven't built up that backlog of bits you've got in the bits box from all these different armies, and green stuff can be very intimidating to work with.
Definitely,
because that's as most hobbyists know, that's the go-to when it comes to sculpting your own little badges, or even some people would go as far as sculpting like weapons and arms and appendages and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, and I feel like if they really pushed it, it could get, you could be talking about 40k, Age of Sigmar, and Kill Team in the same breath. I feel like if they did tournaments, if they had as much support for it, if they really pushed it, even bringing out Kill Team only kind of boxes.
Well, they tried that. Remember, they had I bought the Tower Kill Team box, and all that was a sprue of Tower Fire Warrior breaches.
Yeah, exactly.
And some cards.
So those boxes were fine. But yeah, exactly. I'm thinking more like when you get an Age of Sigmar Underworlds.
Oh, true.
Box. And,
Yep.
and they're custom models and they're unique. You can also use them in Age of Sigma, but they were made originally for
Yep.
that boxed game. So
Yeah.
I thought a 40K equivalent of that would be cool. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty complete game. I don't really have any. We're not sponsored by Kill Team. We actually just genuinely love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yep.
So now I want to know what you like and don't like
Oh,
about Kill Team.
don't hit me with that. Don't like.
Yeah, hey man, I'm flipping it. I'm playing my Uno reverse card. I'm flipping it.
True. Yeah. So I mean, I've written a small list of what I like about the game. Didn't include anything I don't like because that was all on the fly. So I'll have to wing that.
Yeah.
But basically, the first thing on my list was the alternating activations. So
Yeah.
that I find, each player does their move and their charges to get like individually, and then after that, everything alternates, which is really interesting because it sort of allows the game to change, like and flow. Sort of like you might kill a model and then go, all right, sweet. So instead of shooting at that now, which I was planning on, I can now shoot at this, and yeah, it just allows it to change like that. So
yeah, it also lets your opponent. You've just shot his model and killed it. So that model you just shot with can't shoot again. So now he's going to change who he shoots.
Yeah,
To hopefully
absolutely.
pip someone before they get to have their turn, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just allows like more counterplay.
It does. It really does. Where 40K, it's your opponent's turn. There's nothing you can do until they've finished their turn.
Totally.
With Kill Team, it's like, all right, he only has to shoot one of his models, and then I get to shoot. So yeah, it'll just freeze that up a lot. Including in that, I also like the idea of the readied models. So instead of moving, they have their chance to sort of take aim or bunker in and get ready to shoot. So that means when the shooting phase comes, because a lot like 40K, it's split up into phases. They're one of the first ones to shoot. If they're the only readied model, they're the first one to shoot before anybody else. So they can get those crucial shots in before everybody else even has a chance.
Those extra tactics there, like readying and all the other stuff you can do. It just adds so much more when you're playing a smaller scale game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mostly play Tower, which are no good in close combat, so they pretty much only will ready and shoot unless they're falling back.
Yeah. Your turn looks like, okay, I'll ready all my guys and
yeah, no moving, no, just readying. The second thing on my list is the flesh wounds. So in the regular game of 40K, so you roll to hit, you roll to wound, and then if your opponent fails their save, that model's just dead. Just regardless of what happened, they're dead. Where in Kill Team, you roll a die after you've failed your save, and you have a chance of just receiving a flesh wound. So that will not take you out of the game. You can still continue to fight, obviously with some sort of penalty, which is generally a penalty on your to hit rolls and that. So I like the idea of not just losing a model straight up out of the gate as soon as they fail their save.
Yeah, it's very cool. They can keep fighting. They are handicapped a little bit, and their flesh wounds can also be. Is it mitigated by units that they have near them?
That comes down in the morale phase, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a way to remove flesh wounds. I mean, there might be with a medic, but I think I don't generally play the medic.
Yeah, the effects of the flesh wound in the morale phase might be mitigated by having like a unit close to you. I can't remember off the top of my head, and 6 years in, but
there are definitely bonuses, I should say, when you have friendly units within range of that unit. I think it's generally 3 inches. So, I
think it might even be 2, just because they didn't want to be 40K.
True.
And it's a smaller board, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that's my number 3 on the list. It's a smaller scale. So Kill Team plays on a 22-inch by 30-inch board, which unfortunately, for some reason, the Brits still use inches. But I've got a tape measure right in front of me now. So for those who aren't familiar with it,
Why do you have a tape measure right in front of you right now? You're at the computer, Shane.
You got to measure, like
The keypad, the keyboard.
maybe.
Interesting.
It's about 6 inches.
That's a very small keyboard.
Hey, that's enough for some. All right.
Mine's way bigger than that, dude. I guess I was just lucky I got a bigger keyboard.
Yeah, true.
It's
True.
like 3.5 inches.
That's you got in the wrong way there, dude.
Oh. My maths is
Anyway.
bad. I don't know if you know this.
22 inches is 56 centimeters, and 30 inches is 76. So
There you go.
it's the standard size is a 6 foot by 4 foot, which I'm not going to go and measure that. But basically, yeah, Kill Team is a coffee tabletop game. Like you can play it anywhere, where you don't need a full on custom built gaming table to play.
Totally.
So
Whereas, like you mentioned, 40K is a tabletop game. Like it takes the entire top of a table.
yeah,
In fact,
and
the
then
dining
some.
room table I have is not big enough to play a 40K game on.
No, neither's mine. I built a gaming table that's 6 foot by 4 foot.
And it feels quite large.
It is quite large.
It's a good table.
Not
Solid.
gonna lie. Yeah.
But yeah,
Especially
you're right.
since I
Whereas
reinforced
Kill
it.
Team's more of a coffee tabletop.
Yeah, you can really play anywhere, even at your the local gaming shop. If the 6 foot by 4 foot tables are taken, you can play on like one of their other. A lot of them have card tables for like, Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. You could fit on one of those.
Yeah, that's true. That's sick.
Yeah. So that's a massive. Like just the smaller scale is just heaps better. Narrative campaigns. So being able to craft a story or craft, behind quite a few different linked games together, like a whole entire campaign, is a massive plus because it gives you incentive to play. Like, your Kill Team is fighting for this, and then the mission changes. They use like a resource sort of system as well. So if you win, you earn resources, which allows you to buy extra models for your Kill Team. You're generally still limited to like 100 points per game because you got to keep it fair. But you might be able to buy enough to swap out 2 of your guys for like one heavy unit, which might have a way better gun. So that's a massive plus there. Experience, leveling up, the unique and named models, customization, which we spoke about sort of earlier, being able to treat each model as their own guy. So you don't have to build them and paint them the same. You can build them however you like. If you've got bits from other systems or other armies, you can combine it together. And yeah,
Totally. And it's like a small scale skirmish 40K, but with an RPG flavor.
Yeah, definitely.
So you could almost like a lot of people do full campaigns where they'll do like a bit of a mini galaxy, and they'll have like little pins on the board, blue pins for one team, red pins for the other. And you try and like each player sort of has their turn and can spend their resource points doing certain things. So they might say, I'll use 4 of my resource points to start an ambush on this planet that you have.
Yeah, give them a bonus.
Yeah, totally. So then they'll do an ambush on that planet. They'll play their Kill Team game, and if they win, they'll then gain the resources from that and any passive abilities that planet gives them.
Yep.
So that planet might be a production of heavy weapon things. So it might give them the ability to equip heavy weapons for free in the next, as long as they control that planet. And like people do some insane stuff with it. So
so good.
It's not the kind of game that's a gateway in the sense that you have to jump from Kill Team to 40K. If you love Kill Team,
play Kill Team.
Yeah, you can be a Kill Team player and only a Kill Team player. Which, we end up there, sort of every edition of 8th. We'll work on these big armies, and then we'll find ourselves on game day just a few units short of our 1,500 point game. And we're just like, we don't have 6 hours. We've got 2. Let's just play a Kill Team game. Yeah. And if we had 6, we'd I don't know, we'd probably prefer to play 3 kill team games in a campaign.
That's true.
Get Churchy in there, drag my brother back in.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is getting me pretty pumped for some kill team.
Juicy.
Yeah,
Hey,
boy.
Churchy, I'm going to pay you after this and then maybe you can use that money to buy a kill team.
Oh. Ho, ho, ho.
Or you're more than welcome to borrow one of my accidental 6 or 10 kill teams that I have.
Yeah, true. I've got a few as well.
Just from when I've started
just-
40k armies, and it's
I've just got to
enough
say
for a
that
kill
is
team.
classic Fox. Like casual 6 or 10 lying around, you know?
It's somewhere between 6 and 10. I don't know how many armies I've started. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
There's at least 6.
One thing which I also love about the game itself is before the game starts, each player has a scouting phase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can, there's I think about 6 or 7 things you can do. You can plant traps. You can, I think there's like a infiltrate or something where you can set up inside no man's land, so it doesn't have to be in your deployment zone. And then disarm traps is another one. That's all I can remember off the top of my head right now. But these little things give you flavor. So, for instance, if you were to plant traps, you pick 2 terrain pieces on the board, and you obviously write them down and keep it secret. If your opponent moves into those, they suffer X amount of damage, but they can counter that by their scouting phase by playing a disarm traps. So basically, mitigates all the traps that you've done because they've been in to disarm them. So,
but they also can only they disarm thinking that you've set traps, but they might disarm traps and you've set no traps, so they've wasted their thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's another little cool thing that happens pre-game, which can greatly affect the game itself. You know, you might even plant traps and your opponent might not go into any of the terrain pieces that you picked. So in a way, you've wasted that as well. So, you know, sort of a lot of strategy involved in that pre-game before everything even happens.
Yeah.
And it's, even if people we've always said this game is great for people that want to get into 40k, or it's great for them to start and then to get into 40k, but it's also great to go a step back. Like we started before Kill Team was a thing, really, and we were in 7th edition, and then 8th, and then Kill Team came. So if you were to step back into it, the rule base is still very similar. So it's all sort of, you know, you pick up the slight differences, but a lot of it's still the same, you know, like shooting, rolling to hit, rolling to wound, saving throws, psychic powers. It's all the same as the 40k core game. So yeah, for coming back into it from 40k, it's still as a walk in the park as it is to get into it from nothing.
Yeah, and that's a good point too, because I think something that I discovered about myself when thinking about this episode is that I'm probably more suited to Kill Team, you know, because I will go on the GW website daily and I'll look at these models and I'll be like, you know what? You know, the Plague Marines are such cool models. So then I'll start building a 1,500 point, you know, or 2,000 point Death Guard army.
Yeah.
And it will be centered around having these really cool Plague Marines. And that will be the bulk of my army. Or I really like Kroot, for example. So I'll try and figure out some way to make Kroot work in 1,500 points. But really, I can play with just those models, customize them, and really enjoy them on an individual level in Kill Team.
Yeah.
I don't need to put that pressure on myself to spend $1,000 to make an army work so that I can use those models, you know?
No,
buy
that's
one
right.
box.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we keep coming back to that factor that everyone associates Warhammer 40,000 with $40,000 being how much you have to spend to get into the game, which is somewhat accurate, but Kill Team, you don't have to spend, you know, a fortune like you do to get into a small fortune to get into the regular game, you know, like you can spend your $50 to $100, you're in, you're playing games with your mates, as long as they've got the rules. If they don't, might cost you an extra $50 odd more.
No, That's it. If you play with a regular group like we do, you just need one person, aka Shane, to have the rules.
Yeah.
And you're all sweet.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, you share the paints. You're like, oh, Shane, do you have Mephiston red?
Of course I've got Mephiston red.
Exactly. Exactly. I'll trade, I'll use your Mephiston red, you use my Bugman's glow.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's it.
It's a good one. Like if you got 4 blokes that are, you're like, oh, I've been interested in 40K. They're like, yeah, I'd be keen to learn that. It's hard to find 4 guys willing to throw $1,000 at a game to be able to play it.
Oh, yeah. Like, you really can't expect anyone to. Like, it's just so much money to get into, like, a serious, like, competitive army.
Yeah.
You can still play a small game of 40K. Like, you could pick up a start collecting box, but even then, it's going to cost you $150 before paint and before glue and before clippers.
Yeah.
So it's still for someone who's like, oh yeah, I think I might like it. It still can be like a bit of a deterrent, the price.
Yeah, and you don't really have an accurate representation of the game either. You're playing a 500-point game at best.
Yeah.
And that's not really 40K,
No, it's not. It's still only like half a game really.
Yeah.
Before you can get a good feel of it. So, kill team. It's just. I know we keep coming back to it, but it's the best. It's the best way to get into it.
It's because we're more casual gamers, and it suits us perfectly. It costs less. It takes less time to build and paint the armies. It takes less time to actually play the game.
Yeah.
And if we only get to catch up once every 2 weeks and play a game for a couple of hours, the cool thing about, you could do this with house rules with 40K. It just feels easier in Kill Team to make that campaign.
It does, yeah.
And, have it go all year round and be able to talk about it for years. About that time we had that campaign where at first I took your planet and then you did an ambush in my planet and I had to defend that and I managed to scrape through, but I lost a few of my guys. That's another thing. Your dudes can die and it means something.
It does. When they're dead. And you need to recruit those guys. And they start off as like conscripts. So they're like, they've got no experience, no special weapons. They're super green compared to your veterans.
Yep. Who your veterans that you've carried through 3 fights, and you remember when this particular veteran managed to destroy that big Tyranid warrior in the first game, and he's been a hero ever since. Unfortunately, the more I talk about it, the more I want to just like jump in the car and try to bring my Grey Knights and drive over to yours and play. But alas, we cannot. However, we do have Tabletop Simulator, which we had a bit of a play with yesterday.
Yeah. We were limited to time yesterday, so we got our armies ready and then realized the time.
Yeah, we did a fair bit, but then we realized I cheated, so we had to rewind it.
Classic Fox.
Hey. I don't like this picture you painting of me, Shane.
Hey, man, I'm just giving them an accurate representation.
Facts. Just dropping facts.
Straight facts.
I'm actually on the website now, and the more I look at this Kill Team box, the more I realize the value is pretty good.
Which one's that? Is that the Tau and Space Marine one?
Yeah. Technically it's Fangs of Ulfric, which is like Space Wolves. Which hey, I have Space Wolves, but they are just intercessors, so no, they're Reavers. Interesting. So you can make them any particular chapter you would like.
Yeah.
But it just comes with that board, which is nice. You don't have to measure the outskirts of the thing. You just slap it on the board. Yeah,
that's true. And you get a bit of terrain in there as well.
Bulk terrain, man.
Yeah.
Bulk terrain.
What is it, 260,
265. So I don't know if that extra.
It depends where you shop. We got Guff Werribee, which do a 10% discount.
True. Or Guff Geelong, which is the same.
Oh, yeah, Guff Geelong, yeah. So that's $26 off there, right, straight up.
I'm just looking at, it's good because you get all the tactics cards as well, the little books, the little cards.
Yeah.
10 Tau Empire tactics, 12 Adeptus Astartes tactics, 36 Universal tactics. There's also tactics in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a fair bit to it. I don't know why I said I wanted the rules more complicated. There's a fair bit.
It's deep. It gets real deep.
Yeah. I'm looking for a list of the terrain that you get.
It's the Adeptus Mechanicus stuff, I think. So you get
6
like some,
frames of Sector Mechanicus scenery. Yeah.
yeah. So you get like some walkways, like a big furnace thing.
Yeah.
I
It
think
looks sick.
some pipes and stuff.
Yeah. It looks very cool.
Their terrain is fantastic. Like it's so detailed. A little bit pricey, so I think in this box set it'd be well worth it because if you get a sprue of Reavers, that's already $100.
Yeah. And is this Fire Warriors? They are Fire Warriors, which is 85.
Yeah. So by the time you've got that, you add the rule book, which is 70. You're basically getting the terrain for free.
Yeah. Hey man, you don't have to sell me on it. In fact, I'm worried that you're selling me on it. So it's actually, it's a good set. It's a really good way of getting, it is tricky when you do it between 2 people because obviously like who gets the terrain, who gets the board, the dice, whatever. But
and the rule book as well, which can be a big thing. Like if you both want to like study the rules, but hey, you might live like 2 streets away from your mate, so like you can just say, all right, you just take everything, and I'll come get it if I want it.
Yeah, or do what we do, and I'm like, hey Shane, can you send me pages 16 through 35 of the rules, and you just take photos of them and send them to me? Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I can't wait till COVID is done and dusted, my friend, because I want to play some Kill Team.
Yeah, man.
I want to grab Churchy and Stewie, and maybe we can grab some of our hobby homies.
Hells yeah.
That'd be sick.
That would be sick. So sick.
That would be sick.
Yeah. But for now, I guess we can just do TTS, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing we got, so we may as well get around it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good the other night. Like, it was easy to use, easy to make your army when you only have to do... Well, I only had like 5 guys, so that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, not 1,500 points worth of guys, which can be many.
And another thing, I know we only talk about good things, but I mean, if I think of something bad, I'll let you know. But if you're like me and you're actually not big into painting, you'd rather play the game, painting 5 to 10 models, so much easier.
Yeah.
When you put all this detail into one guy, my mentality when I'm doing it for a 40k army is, are you serious? I have to do this another 50 times?
Yeah.
For a half of my army? When you do it for Kill Team, you put all that detail in, you're like, sweet, I'm like a 5th done already.
Yeah.
So you can spend extra time on them. But anyway, that's more of a, if you like those specific people that don't like the painting. I mean, I do like painting. I don't like how much I have to do for a big army.
No, it can be quite deterring, especially you've got some weird link to horde armies. Like, you don't like painting, but yet you like armies that consist of over 100 models.
Yeah, I know. I must hate myself. I think I hate myself. So true, though. So true. Crew.
Yeah.
Crew. Steel cults.
Tyranids. Astra Militarum.
Astra Militarum. Oh my goodness. Not even like the tank Astra Militarum.
No. You're talking about grunts.
Foot soldiers. Yeah. The most elite army I have is probably like my Death Guard. But even then, it's like, it's still 50 Plague Marines.
Oh, Jesus.
No, wait. 42 Plague Marines.
50 Plague Marines, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas for Kill Team, it's 5. So, yeah. Anyways. Hopefully that kind of gives... Yeah, hopefully it gives you guys like a bit of a summary of like what to expect, what kind of game it is. There's links in our Discord that if you go to the Warhammer 40k channel, there's a little channel within that called Kill Team where we've dumped some links. You can also hit us up and just be like, hey, I really want to get into Kill Team. Yeah. This is the kind of fighting style I like. Maybe you like a more shooty army or more melee or one that's
definitely
hard to play, but like has a high skill ceiling, or maybe you want a real simple something, or maybe you want something easy to paint. Just hit us up, ask us for our tips, and we will not pretend to know the answer. We'll go find out for you.
We'll do some study, some homework.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is message us on Facebook, which is fb.me/hobbyhomies. You can even email us if you want, which is somewhat old school now, I feel, but hobbyhomies@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Discord. Jump in
send us a-
Discord. You can chat in the hobby lobby, or you can DM either myself or Foxy. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to ask us questions if you don't feel like trawling through all the information that's out there to find it. We won't pretend to know everything, but we're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to Kill Team, as far as it's probably our most played game system.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think you can find. Where can they find like a link to our Discord? We should probably post that on the Facebook.
Yeah, well, there is a link on the Facebook.
Okay,
but yeah, we'll definitely repost it. I think it's probably worth it now to get sort of these newer listeners that might have jumped in on the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, definitely. We'll post it again.
Yeah,
it's there. You can find it, but we'll spoon feed it to you. That's what we do.
Yeah, and well, I suppose we may as well talk about our giveaway that we've got going on. So before the end of the month, everyone that's liked our page will be entered in the giveaway. And what are we giving away this week, dude? This month, I should say.
Yeah, this month we're giving away a board game. This is the first time we're not giving away a 40k Kill Team.
Yeah, true. This is when we talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a board game that Shane also owns. This one, however, is brand new. It's called Photosynthesis. So again, the giveaway information's pinned on our Facebook page. The giveaway is also in the Discord, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might be in the Discord, in the giveaways channel.
It is. Yeah, there's a giveaways channel where you can sort of see our previous giveaways and also the current one. We do one every month, and usually it's either a board game or a box of 40k minis or just whatever we're giving away at the time.
Yep.
And like Shane said, just all you have to do is like the Facebook page, or there are people that like the Facebook page before this competition, and we'll add you guys in as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Another way is if you're one of our patrons on Patreon, anyone that has sort of tier 2 up gets automatically added to any giveaways we have. Yeah,
absolutely. Every month you will get auto added to the giveaway, so you don't need to do anything. No hoops to jump through. Just straight in.
You sit back and just reap the rewards.
Yeah, your name is in the hat.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a Patreon, which, I mean, it's crazy to me that we're here to the point where we've got a Patreon. Because when we started this, it was just you, me, and Churchy hanging out and just talking some banter.
Yeah.
And now we have patrons.
We have patrons, yep.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
So a big shout out to our OG Patreons.
Yeah.
Which is... Well, first of all, the man himself, Churchy, here with us. Thank you, Churchy.
No worries.
You are literally the OG. You were here before we even recorded our first episode. So.
Yeah, yep.
But thank you for supporting us. Dave as well. Thank you, Dave.
Dave's our newest OG.
Yeah. We have. Yeah, this is the first time we've given him a shout out. So let's give him a little round of Hobby Homies official round of applause. That wasn't what it sounded like.
Yeah, you get one.
So, everybody gets. Yeah, this is yours, Dave. Dave's a top bloke. I've spoken to him on Facebook many times. He's doing some good things in the Warhammer 40k world.
Hell yeah, he's running the show on the Geelong 40k tournament, which I mean, unfortunately, is taking a slight break due to COVID-19.
Yeah.
Thanks,
but he's been doing
Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. Gosh. But yeah, he's doing some sick terrain as well for a couple tables that he'll have.
Yeah.
That he's trying to get ready for when we kick off the tournament again. So an absolute legend. I'm painting him up a miniature soon. I bought the paints for it today. So
nice.
Thanks again, Dave. And Final Dinosaur, all the way from Belgium.
Yeah.
Our main man, one of our big OGs. Appreciate you, Final Dinosaur. Always. For him, I have ordered some special bits for the miniature we're doing for him.
Cool.
He sent me a real cool story on the theme of the model that he wants. So I've bought some orc bits and things like that. And
nice.
It's going to be sweet. I mean, I don't know if it's going to look sweet, but I think the idea of it's very cool. So
Yeah. Execution?
yeah. Idea? Oh, 10 out of 10.
Oh, on
Execution?
point.
And again, thank you to all our homies in the Discord that are just chatting away. In fact, someone just wrote something, I think. Anyways, we appreciate you all. We're trying to build a little community, and it's growing. It's growing.
It's actually our boy, Final Dinosaur, who wrote something.
I cannot find it because I don't know how to do.
You don't know how to Discord? It's in the Kill Team channel. He's written, you can play basic Kill Team with almost no investment, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. Which is bang on. Bang on. Yeah.
You can play a basic Kill Team with almost no investment, which is pretty awesome. That's our episode, dude. He doesn't even know we're recording right now. So maybe I have to get him on there.
Yeah.
We'll get him on the Hobby Homies podcast. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. He can be our international correspondent.
Totally.
Yeah, excellent. But that pretty much sums up Kill Team, I suppose. Like very basic entry level to it. Yeah. There's so much more that we haven't even briefed on. Like I was actually going to talk about the morale phase, which I'm not even going to bother now because. Yeah. So yeah.
We've actually got a few goals on the Patreon page. And one of them is if we get X amount, I think off the top of my head, it's like $100 a month. I can't remember. That will give us some resources to be able to film some video content to put on our YouTube and on our Patreon as well. And I imagine that will be in the form of a Kill Team campaign.
Yeah, definitely.
We're also working on a 40K 1K league or 1K 40K league.
Yep.
That you and I will do. So those will tie in together quite nicely, I think. So yeah, we're looking to do some content outside of just this podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, which we already do, the Discord and the Facebook and stuff like that. But
we're hoping to bring more. You know, we both would love to pump up the YouTube and get a lot more going on there. Like I am just getting my hobby erection thinking about basing tutorials. Yeah. I'd love to just sit there and film some stuff and pump and put it up on YouTube. I think it would be awesome. Like, I mean, I'm no diorama maker, but I froth making those bases.
Yeah, you're a good base boy. You're a good first baser.
Good basic bitch.
And I really want to whip out my Kroot after this and lay them out on my table and sort of think about a Kill Team. So yeah. Hopefully, you guys are pretty pumped to do some hobby.
Yeah, you've got me pumped. I'm keen to look at putting together a Kill Team, I think.
Dude, that's exciting. Maybe Churchy and me can go. Stuff Shane. Let's go Harvey's in the starter set.
All right.
There's a couple armies in there.
You've been outed, Shane. Off you go.
In fact, Shane, you're no longer required. Me and Churchy can take it from here.
Can I be the sound guy?
Welcome to Hobby Homies. How do we mute him, actually?
Welcome to Hobby Homies with Churchy and Fox and our sound guy, Shaz.
Yep, Shaz.
It's me, the sound guy.
He can't talk right now because he's the sound guy, but me and Churchy will do the episode.
I see how it is.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I want to do some hobby.
You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm out.
Oh. A user has disconnected from your channel. All right, fam.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for staying back after the episode for so long. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Facebook,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. No? And most of all, don't forget to check out Churchy on YouTube because without him, again, this could not be possible. He, at the moment, because we're doing it all online, we're not going to his studio, but he's still putting the episodes together and making them sound as reasonable as possible. So,
which is more difficult than you guys think because we sound like trash.
He spent hours, dude, like literal
days
even, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Day 725. The boys.
They still sound like
all
shit.
right. Better than they did
Oh, good.
3 months ago.
Truth. Hard
I'm hearing
truth.
it. Straight facts.
Straight facts.
Yeah. All right. Well, that probably sums up Kill Team there.
Toodles.
Peace.
How do we get triage out of here? It's making me
Triage.
uncomfortable.
Reckon Triage will get a kill team? We can do some
He's-
4-player. Churchy,
He's
Fox,
probably already
Jazz,
got a
and
kill team.
Triage? 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 Triage?